Welcome to my second video on the first Regia Marina dev server. This time, I'm covering all of the new non-Italian ships, along with how the 5.7 meta will likely turn out with their addition. This won't be covering the new Italian cruisers, as those were shown in the previous video, but they will be discussed meta-wise. I'm aware that anti-frag armor is currently glitched to be immensely powerful in this iteration of the dev server, but I'm assuming that won't make it to the live server, so keep that in mind with my analysis. First comes the USS Cleveland. This is actually a ship I requested previously, and I'm very glad to see it in-game. It comes directly before the Brooklyn, and it seems to be a side grade. While it has one less turret than the Brooklyn, it has significantly more anti-air power. The secondary weapons alone have the firepower of a USS Somers and a broadside. You can get 3 of the guns at least aiming on a target at any angle, with 4 at most depending on the angle of the ship. The Cleveland has a higher crew than the Brooklyn in trade for less firepower. It also has less armor. There's a lot less coverage, and it doesn't have the full anti-frag hull that the Brooklyn does. I think it should be roughly as survivable depending on what you're facing, though I wouldn't give it the advantage in a ship fight due to having less firepower and a lot less armor. Overall, I think that the Cleveland will be much better against planes than the Brooklyn, and it should pretty much be the ultimate custom battleship for ruining the days of all the pilots in them. Next comes Germany, who didn't actually get anything. They don't need anything though, so that's fine. They can sit out for a patch. Next comes Russia, who got the PR-56. This is a Kotlin-class destroyer, which is another ship that I asked for previously. It's pretty much a Nustra shimmy, though a bit smaller. There aren't really any major differences between the two. This one should be a bit less survivable due to being more compressed and having less crew, though you can get 3 of the 45mm turrets onto a single target, or 1, depending on the angle of the ship. This is effectively a Nustra shimmy you can get for free with some minor differences. It also comes after the PR-7U instead of the Tashkent, making it a bit easier to get than one would have expected originally. I would say this ship is worth getting. It's pretty fun, pretty interesting looking, pretty much a Nustra shimmy, except it's free. Next is the HMS York. This is pretty much just a cut-down county-class cruiser. It's a bit cheaper, and as you could expect, that makes it a bit worse. The armor is pretty sparse, the mobility is okay, and it has 3 of the dual 8-inch turrets. It also has pretty weak anti-air. I would say this ship isn't that good, though it is likely better than the Southampton against large cruisers, so it's a good addition to the lineup. Next comes the IJN Tone. This is another ship that I asked for and has a ton of anti-air, with 60 of the 25mm cannons and 8 5-inch cannons. This should be a very interesting ship. Due to all the guns being in the front, it should be pretty effective at camping behind hills, just peeking out enough to shoot. However, this comes with a major downside. If you hit this frontal ammunition rack, you're probably going to blow up half the enemy team, because that is a lot of shells. It does have some fuel tank protection, however they do look quite thin, and against the angle that most shells will come in at, it's not going to help very much. Overall, this looks like a good addition to the Japanese lineup. It's better than the Furutaka, and makes a good backup to the Mogami. Now for the overall meta of naval in this update. The Graf Spee is likely going to remain king. America will likely be the second best, due to having the Brooklyn, Cleveland, and either the Pensacola or Portland. Russia will likely be next, as the Chapayev, Sverdlov, and Kirov are all excellent top-tier ships. Japan versus Great Britain is debatable. I would say that both of them will be doing moderately well, but they won't be on the same level as the others. Last comes Italy, who has the most sparse top-tier lineup. Also, all of their cruisers are very subpar, so they're not going to be doing very well. They might be better than expected, but based on the slow reloads and load shell damage, I don't expect them to be doing particularly well. I would like to review all of these ships in the coming patch, though I'm not sure which ones to do first. Be sure to leave your opinions down in the comments below. I'll likely cover whatever ship gets the most requests first. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more ship content.